What is the Red Kite Project? The Red Kite Project is a series of classes and camps and interactive multisensory theater productions for children on the autism spectrum. These are called Red Kite Adventures. Red Kite Adventures are multisensory, interactive, 30-minute theater installations for about 10 children at a time with a caregiver or a parent. Music, movement, colorful projections, props, and puppets are all used. They are designed for kids to participate fully in any way they desire. They're invited to move, laugh, talk, sing, and interact with the artist. Here's a little film clip to give you an idea of what a Red Kite Adventure is about. This is Red Kite by the Sea. The Red Kite Project creates theatrical adventures for children with autism. Chicago Children's Theater launched the Red Kite Initiative in order to meet the needs of an often overlooked and underserved community of children and families. Red Kite by the Sea is the third and newest Red Kite production. It offers these special children an immersive multisensory journey to the seashore. Many parents of autistic children avoid taking them to the theater because they're not sure how their child will react. They worry that their son or daughter may make too much noise, or won't sit still, or will bother other patrons. Red Kite removes these concerns and allows parents to relax for a bit, knowing that however their child behaves, it's okay. At Red Kite Beach, it's okay if the kids move around and wander through the performance. It's okay if they make noise or sing along. It's okay if they touch the scenery or the puppets. In fact, this is all encouraged. Red Kite creates a little world where children can play in the waves, dive deep into the ocean, and interact with singing sea creatures. But it also creates a little world where kids can simply be themselves. A little world that celebrates the unique way each child experiences and enjoys Red Kite by the Sea. So, a little bit about autism. About 1 in 68 children have been diagnosed with autism, according to the CDC. Autism spectrum disorder is a range of conditions that are characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech and nonverbal communication, as well as by unique strengths and differences. It is a spectrum. No two children on the spectrum are alike, so they say when you meet one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. In 1997, I was with Lookingglass Theater, and part of my job was to place teaching artists in classrooms in about a dozen Chicago public schools. These artists would work alongside of a classroom teacher, integrating arts into their daily curriculum. One of the schools that I was looking to place artists into was a school called Agassiz Elementary School. Agassiz Elementary School had a self-contained autism classroom that had about 12 children on the spectrum, ranging from verbal to nonverbal, about 6 to 9 years old. I was trying to find an artist for that classroom and couldn't find any drama artists who felt that they were qualified and had enough experience with children with disabilities to go into that classroom. I called to let the teacher, Mary Peasley, know that I wasn't going to be able to put anybody in her room. She then said to me, please, please, please do not leave these children without a teaching artist in our classroom. Drama can do so much for these children. So I felt really badly after that call and decided that I would give it a try myself. So I showed up at Mary's classroom and did a 30-minute drama class. Throughout the class, the children were crying and screaming and pounding their fist on the floor, make it stop, make it stop. And I kept going along with my curriculum, and then the class ended. It was a very long 30 minutes. And when the class was over, Mary jumped up and said, "That was fantastic, and we'll see you next week." That was quite a surprise to me, but I was actually kind of thrilled to be invited back, and I started going on a regular basis to that classroom. The kids started getting used to me, and I got used to them, and we started all looking forward to what was called drama time. So as I was spending much time with those kids, I started making up my own theater games for them. One of those games I made up, I'd used my then 2-year-old daughter's pink princess wand, and I made up a game called With This Magic Wand. So I would say, with this magic wand, I'm a ballerina, and I would demonstrate being a ballerina, or I'm a bullfighter. So I didn't have great expectations for my class, but I thought I would give it a try. I brought the wand in, handed the wand to a boy named Daniel, and Daniel took the wand and said, with this magic wand, I am Martha Washington. And he began to glide about the room very regally as Martha Washington. I was quite shocked and surprised, very pleasantly. He then handed the wand over to a little boy named Isaac. Isaac took the wand and kept saying, with this magic wand, with this magic wand, and he could not come up with anything. Daniel was sitting on the side and he was whispering loudly, Mary Todd Lincoln, Mary Todd Lincoln. And I knew from that moment on that I wanted to be in this classroom more, that these were fascinating people. I wanted to spend more time with them. And I also learned about this principle called presumed competence, that it wasn't about focusing on the disability, about what these kids couldn't do. It was about focusing on what they could do. So I then stayed on as an artist in residence at Agassiz for about 13 years. So I then co-founded Chicago Children's Theater. It was a very busy time in my life, but I was continuing to go over to Agassiz Elementary School and continuing to do drama time with these kids, creating lots of great programs with them. I was trying to find a way, though, to really include them in the new work that I was doing at Chicago Children's Theater, and I was then, at that time, in 2006, the British consulate invited me to meet some theater companies in the UK, and one of them was called Oily Cart, and Oily Cart creates multi-sensory, interactive productions for profoundly disabled children. They are not specific to autism, but they work with kids with a great range of disabilities. So I went and I did a summer intensive with them. And it was their director, Tim Webb, who encouraged me to really combine the experience that I had had at Agassiz with the work that I was learning from Oily Cart. And hence, the Red Kite Project was born and in Chicago. So I want to talk a little bit about the successful ingredients for making successful theater intervention. Okay, so what is an intervention in autism? An intervention is an activity that improves the quality of life for a person with autism. So first thing you want to do is you want to make a judgment-free zone. Children with autism can exhibit social behaviors that are really antisocial, and especially in an unfamiliar environment or a setting or a new experience. So you'll often see flapping or biting, running, a myriad of stress indicators. So what we really want to do is create a place where the parents do not feel worried about being judged. These behaviors make them not want to go out and do anything in public. So at Red Kite, we want to make sure that nobody judges you. Before you go, we send you a pictorial story. So it's a PDF or a video that shows the child exactly what is going to happen before they get there. It's who they're going to meet, what they're going to do, what's expected of them, that they can say yes, please, or no, thank you to any experience that's offered to them. We want them to participate, but they're never forced to participate. We want to make sure that we know your name. So before you go, a caregiver pre-registers the child. And we find out a lot about those children, their likes, their dislikes, things that will set off any of that anxiety behavior. So we are ready for them when they come. We know their name. We greet them with a song. And we also like to add an emotion to it. So we'll say, hello, Elliot, you're looking excited today. Throughout the whole adventure, we continue to encourage Elliot to share with us how he's feeling. And then if we have nonverbal children, we make sure that we include them. A lot of them use assistive devices, or we also give them picture boards, so they can use either one to let us know how they're doing. We want to make sure that you remember to breathe. Transitions are very difficult for people with autism. So we really want to make sure that we work on that pacing and transitioning. In a Red Kite adventure, you might do something really high energy, like a simulated river rafting ride or chasing butterflies or caterpillars. And then we want to make sure that after that high level excitement, that we bring everything down to a quiet place. And so we'll take the time out and We'll do some deep breathing and we'll say river rafting is over and now it's time to sit back down and we're going to then pet some baby birds that have just hatched, or we'll be rocking our baby stars. So we want to make sure that we're constantly working to modulate that behavior with them. Another thing is you want to really make sure that you have an agenda. So here we like to be creative with our agendas. This is really an itinerary of all the activities. This is from our production of Red Kite Brown Box. And Red Kite Brown Box is a series of activities that children are doing because they don't want to go to bed. So here you can see that these are night lights, and as soon as you come in, you see them, and as soon as we complete an activity, we turn off that night light. So the very top one is the pillow fight, and we'll say pillow fight is over now, and we will turn off the pillow fight light. And then the children can see that they have 4 more activities to complete through the adventure. We want to make sure that we stay present. This is a sensory experience. It's about enjoying and touching the props and playful interaction. It's about being with our new friends at Red Kite. It's not about character or plot development. It's really about staying in the moment. And if a child is having a lot of fun petting a baby seal puppet, then we'll let them continue to pet the baby seal puppet. Or if somebody wants to hold on to their night-night bear, we let them hold on to the props until they're ready to freely hand them over. Nothing is ever forced, and we're always gently encouraging them to continue throughout the adventure. We've had some children come and they don't even want to enter the performance space. They like to just stay in the doorway. So we'll bring the entire experience to them. So we'll continue to bring over every little song and musical instrument, whatever it takes. They can enjoy the whole show from there. We've had parents contact us afterwards and say, my child stayed in the doorway the whole time and they loved it. They went home and they recounted the whole experience for their family. It's very important that you hire for the heart. We have amazingly talented actors and designers and stage managers who work on Red Kite productions. Some of them have even gone on to star on Broadway in the last couple of years. But the main thing is that we're really looking for big hearts. We're looking for people who are incredibly kind and generous, and that they understand that this work is about the children. It's about being a friend. It's about being a fun guide. So what are the rewards of Red Kite? First of all, with the parents, we do a lot of surveying, and we did this survey with the Chicago Community Trust, and we found that before an adventure, parents were very nervous and they really were expecting a lot of negative behaviors from their children. And what we found post-show surveying is that it was actually the positive behaviors that were exhibited, and the most highly ranked one was joy. So we see this every time we take our Red Kite work out on tour. We also find that the parents are really amazed that their child gets to be enjoyed in a place where actually they've never been before, and they get encouraged to go other places after this. Kobe is 7 years old. He just saw our latest adventure, the Red Kite Treasure Adventure, and afterwards he told his mother he wanted to write a review. So this is the review he wrote, and he said a couple of things here is the show was like a fun play date with friends who are just like me. And he also said theater is wonderful and people deserve to get a chance to experience it. So a lot of people will say to me, don't you find working with people with disabilities depressing, or doesn't it make you kind of sad? And I say, no, actually, it's the opposite for me. I find that this work brings me a lot of joy, and that these children have brought so much into my life that it's been a wonderful intervention in my life as well. I always thought that theater was really about a performer. It was about the actor taking center stage. It was about great plays. It was about scenes and dramatic tension and conflict. And this work has really shown me that it doesn't have to be that theater can be something else. That theater can really be about the people that it's serving. And that this work in particular puts children with disabilities center stage. So I'm now looking forward to what is next for me in this work, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know that I'm going to continue working with children with disabilities, and I know that one way I'm going to do it is with my Red Kite. And now I just want to share with you that the title of Red Kite came from a song written by my favorite artist, Sufjan Stevens. It's a song called Sister, and he says, I have a red kite, I'll put you right in it, I'll show you the sky. Thank you.